Hello, I'm Natasha Foreman. Welcome to the Breaking Bread with Natasha podcast, where I share daily devotionals from my namesake blog, so you can listen on demand to spiritual messages inspired by God's love, as expressed in the Bible and other religious texts. You can read along at breakingbreadwithnatasha.com or sit back and take in the Word. Either way, I'm blessed to have you break bread with me. Without further delay, let's begin today's message. Welcome, Breaking Bread family. This is Natasha Foreman. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let's look at Ephesians chapter 6, lines 18 to 20. The translation that I'm reading says, "And pray in the Spirit on all occasions with all kinds of prayers and requests. With this in mind, be alert and always keep on praying for all the Lord's people. Pray also for me that whenever I speak, words may be given me so that I will fearlessly make known the mystery of the gospel, for which I am an ambassador in chains. Pray that I may declare it fearlessly as I should." A lot of people overlook an important part of the first sentence in this letter to the Ephesians. The writer, who we have traditionally credited as the Apostle Paul, tells the people to pray in the Spirit on all occasions with all kinds of prayers and requests. For so many of us, the phrase praying in the Spirit is lost on us. We may not even pause long enough to attempt to interpret the meaning and instead gloss right over it. Some define this act as praying with divine help from and under the influence of the Spirit of God, quote, with the heart, soul, and spirit engaged in it, end quote. That's according to John Gill's commentary. While some would argue or profess that praying in the Spirit means speaking in tongues or speaking in your spiritual language, for those of you who get freaked out when you hear the previous phrase, speaking in tongues. Counter arguments would point out that not everyone is tuned in and adept at speaking in their spiritual language, so this couldn't be the case that Paul was telling folks to do something daily that he knew wasn't possible for everyone. But we can break down Paul's letters a number of ways, and I speak about both interpretations in my books, Seek Him Volume 2 and Seek Him Volume 3. So I won't inundate you here in this post. You can simply visit domelifepublishing.com and see where you can purchase and read them. I'm not going to argue for one point or the other. I'm here to share the words of the faithful who obediently wrote words as guided or inspired by God. We can dig, contemplate, and argue until we're blue in the face. The only source with answers to our questions is God. Sit down with Him and ask away. Be open and receptive to hear Him and not you and your biased ego. Maybe that full embrace is prayer in the Spirit. Maybe it's not an either or for some people. Maybe it's a both. Honestly, I think and believe that God has gifted each of us with the ability to speak in the Spirit, but most of us fall into one or more categories. 1, too afraid to try. 2, don't know how and let go and let it happen. 3, don't believe in it. 4, think it's satanic or some mumbo jumbo. 5, don't think you have the gift. 6, don't put much thought into it. This is the case for the majority of things that the Bible has revealed as our truth. Jesus spoke about abilities that the majority of religious folk just don't embrace fully or at all. Many think it's reserved for a select few or only after Jesus' return. So there's a lot of untapped gifts collecting dust for decades because we simply don't believe God and Jesus. But let's reserve that analysis for another day. For those of you who have embraced your gift to speak in your spiritual language, to tap into the spirit that rests within you and to naturally flow in that conversation style, then by all means do so. And I know, some folks fake it and just regurgitate the sounds they hear other church folks yodel out. Look, that's between them and God. That's between you and God if you're the one doing this. People don't realize how much they're truly missing out on when they reduce themselves to acting and performing just to fit in. God can penetrate all masks and barriers. Don't worry about his abilities. Just focus on showing up and supporting his mission and vision through your daily walk. I will say this. No matter what you believe about praying in the Spirit, the next line of the letter speaks about praying for, quote, all of the Lord's people, end quote. And I know folks can argue that until the moon capsizes, but let's just settle on this. Pray for others as frequently and intensely as you would want someone to pray for you. Have the thoughts, speak the words, and live the life that best express God's goodness. And let's end today's message embracing the mindset of the writer of this letter. He asked that the Ephesians pray for his faithfulness and fearlessness. So I come to you today to encourage you to fearlessly carry yourself as an ambassador for the Lord. Fearlessly speak to truth and speak to uncover the truth, as many people ignorantly believe that they will be prosperous and victorious in lies. The enemy places high wagers on lies. Daily, we must cast a light on the darkness, even if we have to do so creatively. Don't fuel the lies. Don't compromise yourself for the lies. Stand in the truth. And with that, family, please join me in a moment of prayer. Father, I pray that I remember to always pray for others, and I hope that they pray for me, that we may uplift each other in your name. I want to always be alert and fully aware of my surroundings, the people near me and their intentions. I want a heart that is aligned to your purpose, and that daily I stride on the path that you set before me. I pray that your light blinds the darkness that foolishly plots against your plans for me. I want to grow in such a way that whenever I speak, I reflect your love and grace. I want others to see you when they see me, to hear you when they hear me. Less of me and more of you. I love you, Father, and I declare my devotion to you this day and always. Amen. Family, I pray that you are blessed, that you see and embrace your blessings, and that you are a blessing to others. Go out there and make today an amazing day. I love you all. Take care. Hi, family. If what I shared in today's message resonates with you, I hope you will share it with others. Feel free to leave positive comments and reviews on my site, breakingbreadwithnatasha.com, and through whichever podcast provider that you're listening to me. Each day, I work to be a better steward and servant. I hope you will join me in sharing God's love and truth and rebuking the enemy's lies. Now go out there and make today an awesome day. I love you all.